and welcome to the name of the game, chaps. We all know what game this is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. It's clearly Star Wars.
It's clearly Battlestar
Pretty sure we've done
Galactica.
that joke already.
Star Wars The Final Sith.
No, it's The Adventures of Ben Swallow, clearly.
It'd be clearly better written now.
It's clearly The Adventures of Captain Pinkhair.
That wouldn't be saying much. Sorry.
Vice Admiral Gender Studies.
Ugh.
Vice Admiral Gender Studies.
But
It's clearly 40k. I don't know what you guys talking about.
I like my 40 cats. But to celebrate the ending of this campaign, which there will be a new campaign, of course, it will be bigger and better and more
Rocks
ambitious.
fall, you die.
No, there's not yet. So I'm cracking open a celebratory drink. Ooh,
To also not fall asleep during stream.
that is correct. So to good health and good gaming.
Okay, one of those things, because then it's an energy drink.
Probably to good gaming then. I'll go with good gaming. Health be damned. I can recover. So, I will give you a short introduction, no need for a captain's log, although that's typically what people refer to as the laboratory on a ship. That was immensely funny. It
We
was.
might have to try a little harder.
Yeah, I might have to try it a little harder. Okay, so that should be my catchphrase. Okay, so, and I will read some fluff text from my book. Stardate 48327.4. You're following what seems to be a Cardassian distress beacon into an unknown star system. You are approaching rather at a steady pace, not like full bore tilt maximum speed, but you are currently assessing the situation. It is pretty near to Cardassian space from where you're currently located, but you're surprised no one else has picked it up yet. Thus, you're going to investigate.
Mm-hmm.
Shipboard time would probably be in the afternoon. It's been a reasonably long duty shift. And what is everyone up to? Hold on, I have to adjust your volume. You are half loud on my end. There we go.
Am I now?
Ow!
Oh my god. That's terrible.
Yes, that is my second name, unfortunately. Now,
Turn
actually,
me down to a fine
unfortunately, it's my third name. Right.
Please
How
stop
many
your
days has
hurting.
it been since? How many days has it been since our misadventure on Sand Planet?
Oops. It has been, I think, a good few weeks.
Okay.
Xoll is still going to be stuffing his face.
All right. So, one thing I would like to do the moment I get to the captain's chair is sort of like to check in on what's going on. Yes, I want to try and determine how far out this signal is.
You're still about a good 30 minutes away.
Imagine I've just had a briefing
Okay.
with the other security.
I want to do two things then. First of all, I'll summon my officers to the bridge, but not in any huge rush.
Okay.
While this is happening, I want to do two things. I want to send a message to whatever department will be best for handling this, and I want to tell them to launch a probe or a sort of like, a signal buoy, and I want them to launch it shortly before we arrive at our destination and just sort of jettison it into space and leave it behind. So it's within comms range of us when we arrive at this destination, because if there's something fishy going on, I want to have something that I might be able to boost and relay a message if
Harp-
someone tries to jam our comms or something like
That
that.
is a good point.
Harp is
But
confirmed
also-
racist against Cardassians.
Also strap a nuke to it.
I have a healthy understanding of Cardassians. I know how they work and I respect them, and that's why I know that either this is going to be a normal distress signal, or if it is something fishy, I better come prepared.
Tactical no right. I would have spent Xoll would have spent like time essentially organizing, like doing his duties. But every now and then he would have like a box of extra big box of like donuts, like Krispy Kreme style donuts, somewhere around the medical bay, and he would be constantly like eating one. And then by the time the captain calls him over, he basically grabs the entire box with him and goes, to the dismay of the rest of the medical crew.
I see.
I would have been giving a briefing to the rest of the security that I'm in charge of, and then probably like made sure that we had everything prepped, and then just walked to before like having already been like walking towards the actual place we're going. What's the word? Bridge.
The bridge.
Yeah,
Going
I would
towards
have
the
actually
place
been
with
walking
things.
there when I get messaged, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're just expecting, like, taking some casualties on board if there's wounded.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah. And then
So, yeah.
my
be on
last
guard.
thing I want to do is I want to also route the message through to the console on my captain's, well, not seat, but captain's space. And I want to go over it and just see if I can determine if there's anything anomalous about the signal.
Okay.
This is less a case of checking to see if it's faked and more checking to see if there's some kind of weird interference from like a weird astral phenomenon or something.
Okay. One more thing, by the way, before we start like making skill tests and all that, is the big problem with Modiphius' 2D20 game system is it's quite easy to stack up like
Loads of momentum.
Like you could
There's this
really banking momentum.
There's a really simple solution. I don't know if it's actually says it in the book or not, but it's like an unwritten rule, which is just at any time the game master can determine that a check is a momentumless check, i.e.
That's what I was thinking. Like, something that's more plot critical.
Yeah.
Like gathering intel, that's fair enough. Or something like plot critical, like, you re-energize the warp core. That's momentum generating. But you have none.
Yeah, at the same time, you shouldn't be too stingy with momentum because you've got to remember that it decays every time there's a scene change.
That's a good point. I have been forgetting that. It's weird. It's weird for a system that's reasonably simple like this. I can't seem to enter the rules. But for something where it's like you require complex trigonometry, I can master.
The trick is you just have to have a cheat sheet. That's the one thing that this game really does well. Because if you have a cheat sheet that just reminds you of how everything
I've got one
works,
somewhere.
yeah, the game becomes so easy. It's like breathing. I'm using it for a game that I'm planning to run at some point in the future. That isn't actually Star Trek because people were more keen on the idea of just like a generic space romp, something like Firefly or whatever. But I wanted to use the rules of STA because I love the rules.
I would have probably recommended something like fucking Traveler.
Yes, too much inventory.
Traveler is Space Mortgage in the game. Anyway, back to this.
And that traveler's in full debt. Oh, God.
Just like real life.
Just like no, I'm not in debt. I've paid that off.
And Alice always pays her debts.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you're wanting to like check. look through the frequency, see if anything's dodgy with it. Like, what would you think would be dodgy with it? Like, are you thinking like it could be like a fake distress signal or something?
It's less that I'm worried it's a fake distress signal, and it's more I'm worried that I'm giving these guys the benefit of the doubt, and I'm assuming it's like a Cardassian Grumol freighter that's got caught in like a gravity well or something. But that's what I'm checking for. I'm checking to see if the signal includes any like information regarding that, or whether there's some telltale signs that it's been like has some interference from a nebula or whatever.
So we don't want to charge into
Basically,
something.
I'm checking it for clues. Pretty much.
Because we don't want to charge into something again, hurt, like trapped ourselves.
Like zoink scoop. Sure, you can check for clues.
Mhm.
And let's find a good stat for you to use for it. I'd say you can use science, and you can make a control in science.
Okay.
Ooh, this energy drink is invigorating.
That's a fail.
Oh my god.
19 and 20.
If there is any kind of clue, I have not found it.
You have not.
You found some shit posts that are completely incorrect. You went into the wrong part of 4chan and they called you a new fag, and that's it.
Are you suggesting that Cardassians have dank memes? Because you're probably
Yes.
right.
Then we should invade them and take their dank memes.
I would love to see an entire board in like Star Trek lore, which would just be like a smart poll. But like Cardassia did nothing wrong.
You know what? I'm actually going to see if there are any Cardassian memes.
Oh my god.
There are many Cardassian memes.
Can
It's
I
been
attempt?
searched a lot.
Can I attempt to research some information about the biological differences between me, the captain, like Phelps, like biology, like basically any biological things I need to know about the Cardassians?
Sure, you'd probably have prepared that in advance.
Okay, there are some Cardassian memes, but I feel like I should save them until after.
Okay.
Can I?
Because otherwise we're going to get...
So you got box of donuts in front of you, yeah?
No, he's okay. So the way it looks is that he probably arrived later than you,
Mm.
and as he sees you, he stands beside you, Phelps, and like
Okay.
looks at you and notices you. And
Has
he's
he
got a donut. He's got a donut in his like mouth, and he offers you the box. He goes, "Oh."
How many of those have you eaten?
There's like 16 of them in there, and there's like 16 of them. It was clearly like a 20 pack.
How many of those have you eaten?
Like he takes out the takes out the donut, and he says like, "Well, this is my second box. Why?"
I take the box off of him.
And like he goes like, "Why though?"
And you call yourself a medical officer, and then I put like,
I have my flaws, Phelps. Like he doesn't say it like too loudly in front of the other crew. He's like, I have my flaws, Phelps.
Remind me to contrive a reason later on to summon the EMH, just so I can see his reaction to this.
from behind you two talking about the donuts on the bridge and having the donuts, and says,
I'm not eating any.
you of course, but you hear a voice say, Starfleet regulations usually forbid food on the bridge. As you turn to see Commander Solak.
And this is why Phelps will happily go and put those back for me, because I've been a very bad officer as of right now. And he sort of looks. I sort of look to Phelps with a with a "you got this" look.
She gives him an annoyed look and kind of goes, expect you'll be joining me in training later, and then she goes and does that.
He does kind of
I can already feel the bruises.
And continues on with saying, I would be inclined to believe that. However, you do have crumbs on your mouth.
Oh yeah, good to know. Like he stuffs the last donut he still had in his hand, and like cleans up his mouth.
I'll just sort of lean around like the workspace I have on the bridge, in the center of the bridge, because Captain. I'm just going to look around to the commander, and I'm just going to say to him, like, as much as I don't want to be a hypocrite being a Centauri, I do feel like we're going to have to put him through some fitness regimes to sort him out after this one.
Yes, I would agree, Captain. He has been...
I'm thinking, Jeffrey's tubes, see if you can break the ship record, get through them all in 10 minutes.
I'll have you know, like he's like, I'll have you know, I've been exercising a lot, lady. It's just I also like donuts.
Your jaw or the rest of your body?
May I skip that question, Captain?
A scathing
we all know the
observation,
answer.
Captain.
Xoll, get to your console.
Aye, Captain. And I sort of nod and like defeatedly walk over to the console.
Okay then. Con, how far out are we?
The officer in the con says, where we will arrive in 10 minutes. We are picking up some strange signal. We are picking up some strange disturbances with the signal, however. Probably could be due to planetary interference.
Okay. Well, my theory right now is still a Grumor-class freighter caught in a gravity well, but we might as well go and check.
Right, sir.
Imagine I've come back by now and can go back to my station.
Yes. Yes, you can.
So yeah, I'm gonna go to my station.
And you're probably going to be waiting for your time to pass.
Mm-hmm.
I assume there's a lot of dead air time on like freaking starships. Just sitting there, just like, what's in that nebula?
Coffee.
Coffee.
I would
The answer is coffee.
Is there anything? Okay? So there's a distress signal. There's a Cardassian distress signal. Are we approaching it?
Yes. You are investigating it because, as good and proper Starfleet officers, you must investigate all distress calls.
I'm going to attempt to scan for life signals, like long range signals. Long range sensors for some life signals.
You wouldn't really be able to pick them up while you're heading towards it, especially
Yeah,
like...
I know. Once we get there, he'll basically think of doing that.
Of course.
Up until then, I will see if I will go send a message through the comlinks to my staff and say, "Can you do me a favor and can you see if you can materialize some crutches for me, just in case, like a crutch that I can take with me. Hopefully, you can make one that's collapsible. Hopefully, just in case."
Of course. You probably were taking your medical kit, right?
Yeah, but like that doesn't include a collapsible thingy crutch. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll be like, "Thank you," and like he finishes the comlink.
I have a thought of something we could do, but I wouldn't be able to do it myself.
Oh.
Which is scanning for any other ships in the area.
But that would be something your security would do.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly.
Cool. I won't do that.
Let's say make a roll of...
That is something security does. That's exactly what they do.
well,
Right, Hop?
I'm pretty sure that's tactical, but whatever.
Yeah, you're probably the highest officer who's anything close to tactical in this group, so do it.
Okay. I'll certainly try. So what would it be?
That'd be control and...
Diligence.
I'd say security, but it's assisted by the ship. So let me just grab the ship sheet.
So 11 plus 3.
The ship
It's-
would assist with the sensors and security.
Okay.
So I'll make a roll here. So roll 1d20.
So control.
And rolls a 3, so you get an additional success
Ooh, nice.
to add onto
So,
your roll. if you make it.
Control security is 11 plus 3, so that's 14. So
Yep.
that's
18,
not very
12,
good.
so 2. You're not picking up anything on long range.
Alright. I'm just going to keep doing that.
Okay.
See if anything changes at any point.
Okay, will do. When you arrive into when you sort of drop out of warp into the system, what immediately like you notice is there isn't that much. Well, you're you're looking through like sensor logs as you reemerge. You find that there's no real like planets orbiting the star in question. The star is quickly identified as it's a blue giant.
Okay.
It's a short-lived, but bright star. And there seems to be only like one thing of notice in the system, and it's, well, you would have to assume it's some kind of structure. The nature of the structure appears to encircle the entirety of the star itself, around 1 AU, and appears to have a surface area around 3 million times of Earth.
So wait, could you describe the whole thing again?
It appears that the star is orbited by a ring world.
Mm-hmm. When you say ring world, you mean like it's in Halo, right?
Bigger.
Like, okay.
It's a Dyson sphere by the look of it.
Wait.
Sphere.
Wasn't there an episode of Voyager that did that?
A ring world?
Like
No, I don't
a
think so.
ring world.
There was an episode of TNG that did a Dyson sphere, but
I think there was one for Voyager as well, but again, it's popped up a few times in the lore.
Yeah, okay, so I can kind of see it. Okay,
It's
so what?
one colossal structure that's a huge ring around the star.
It's like one giant dick that entered itself.
Very funny.
Are you regretting having me on the stream yet?
I've regretted it since the day we started. Oh well. Got to soldier on.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Hindsight 2020, you know?
Well, I mean, we gotta have more than 2 players. I mean, you know. 2 players is a bit.
No, okay, so what about this ring? Is there anything different about it?
On the inside of it appears to be a habitable sort of landscape. There's continents, water, an atmosphere.
in amongst all of this, roughly where is the distress signal located?
It's coming from the surface from the continents on this structure. It seems to have preliminary scans show that it seems to have a sort of continental style of temperature. It's quite temperate. You know, there's forests, and this is mainly like forest and green. There appears to be several structures dotted about it, as well as what appears to be some kind of several deflectors that have been installations that are located on it.
Okay. Can we get any life sign readings from this place?
Yes,
that's what I'm doing.
you can
like the
pick
life
up.
sign.
You can pick up the ship that's crashed on the surface.
Let's see.
Right. So it's basically the distress signal is coming from the crashed ship or the actual.
It's coming from the crash ship.
Okay. And if my understanding is right, the inside of this has the habitable continents and stuff on that.
Yes.
And the ship is crashed into the outside.
No, it's crashed on the inside, so it's some.
Oh, okay.
It's on one of the various continents.
Wait.
So where's the entrance? So where's the entrance?
It's something you can enter. It has its own like gravity field, maybe
Yeah,
containment field.
it's got its own gravity. Essentially it's got its own atmosphere, which a ship could.
I understand that, but they have to have gotten onto the inside of it somehow.
Yeah, that's why they crashed.
Basically, there's some sort of
Is this thing a ring or a sphere?
It's a ring.
Okay, right, it's a ring. Okay.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
of course they just lipped around. And went
this.
crashing the inside.
So wait, so me eating donuts was actually like relevant to the story?
Well, it was foreshadowing.
It's a
Oh
struggle.
my gosh! Did I actually pull a Star Trek foreshadowing scene?
Apparently, by accident.
Oh my god!
You see, my GMing is 4D chess level.
And
It turns out you're just eating a tiny planet.
Right. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I wanted to scan for life signs on the actual ring itself first, and identify life forms on it if possible. Checking databases of Starfleet whether this is something that's been encountered before or not.
It just seems that it just seems to be plant life for the most part.
So someone just left a ring around a star, and it's just chilling there with some plants on it.
Do you want to scan closer to the crash site?
I would like to scan the crash site and the crash ship itself for any life signs.
Yes, there are several life signs. You would estimate there's around 30 life signs on the crash vessel. In various states of health, mind you.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to use the scanner in order to determine if there is any worry of like infection or quarantine needed. Essentially, are they infected by something? Because I have infectious. Like my focus is to do with infectious diseases.
Okay.
I have. Hold up.
I believe the transporters themselves have some kind of like scanner which does
Yes, they
run
do.
through.
Yeah,
Like
I'll
they
basically
scan and clear for any kind of microbial infection.
Yeah, I'll basically do that once we start actually heading to the thing.
Yeah, you need to get in contact with the people down on the surface first.
Captain, they do appear to be alive. There's 30 of them, and they are in various state of being.
Let's see.
Alive.
Well, in that case, we need to get there and respond as quickly as possible. However, be ready at engineering to route additional power towards inertial dampeners or shields as we might need them, because I get the feeling that there's definitely something that caused them to crash here, and we need to be wary of that as well.
Please don't let this be another sand planet incident.
Well, we're not in a shuttle this time, we're in a full ship, so hopefully that might make things a little easier for us.
That makes it easier. How, Captain?
Well, we've got more powerful inertial dampeners, a far more powerful shield unit, stronger warp core, stronger impulse engines.
And
Need I go on?
Possibly explosive engines.
It is a pretty powerful set of engines you've got there.
Anyway,
Try to not
bring us in
think
closer, but obviously carefully and slowly.
Try not to let yourself
Meanwhile,
think.
let's see if we can try and establish communications. And what was that, Phelps?
Try not to let yourself think like that.
Stay positive.
I'll try. And like I'm starting to lick my fingers and tap away at the console.
Right.
I'd visibly cringe as he does that.
And then I wipe my fingers on the like the butt area of my uniform. Like when no one's looking. When no one's looking except Phelps.
Solek will know. Solek
She's
always
just
knows.
rubbing her brow like, like this guy.
I think like since he got like a bad bit of a thing on his record, he's trying to be a bit of a bad boy. Like trying to get himself demoted to ensign.
I think he's just trying to annoy Phelps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you've You do manage to establish a bit of contact with the ship on the planet, and you get a response for your view screen,
Mm-hmm.
and you punch it up, and with a dilapidated ship interior behind him, you see a Cardassian answer. It says, "My name is Guldolot of the Cardassian Empire." I think it's Cardassian Empire.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is Captain Kaval of the Starfleet ship USS Odyssey. We've received a distress signal, which I assume came from your ship.
He nods and he says, I was expecting a fellow Cardassian ship. However, we will take whatever we can. We can take whatever it is offered, even if it is from Starfleet.
In the interests of further cooperation and peace between our peoples, we're happy to cooperate. Now, can you tell us more about what happens, so we know the best course of action?
I believe it would be best if we were to first see to my comrades. I have multiple wounded down here, and we require medical assistance.
Understood. Would you say their situation is stable enough that they can be beamed to my ship and treated in our medical bay, or do you require a ground team?
He speaks with a fellow Cardassian on the sort of off screen, and he says, "We can have them beamed up to your ship. No doubt you have superior medical facilities."
We did certainly come equipped for such a thing. Right. In that case, we'll see.
I'm going to immediately. Because am I listening to this? This is happening? Are we still on the bridge?
Yeah,
Are we in a?
Yeah, this is on the view screen.
I'm going to look at Phelps, and I'm going to immediately start doubting the Cardassian and basically.
I was going to say, could I do an insight?
When you say insight, you mean like doubt. Press X to doubt.
Yeah, attribute insight.
What are you actually doubting about? Like that was.
This is a trap.
Okay.
So I want to see if he's trying to hide anything, or if there's something that he's not telling us, or if.
Well, he did say that he's not going. Well, he did say that he's not going to discuss the whole story right now. He's mentioned.
No, what I'm saying is he just going to send armed forces onto our ship? You know,
that's basically what I'm doing as well.
Yeah, this is. I want to read his intent.
Okay.
If he's actually, doing what he says he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what'd that be?
That would be a insight and security.
Under 13 for me.
12 for me. Number 13.
Oh, I suppose I should be rolling another one.
Hey.
And 2 and 8.
Oh no! So one success.
That's
one
2
failure.
crits tonight, guys. 2 crits.
2 crits?
Now,
yeah.
Now, rolling your dice so they roll poorly is unavoidable, but at least you can give them a nice little home. Wormwood Gaming provides excellent boxes that can provide not only
Phelps,
but can become a fashion choice.
Shut the fuck up. There's nothing fashionable about dice boxes, okay?
What the fuck did you just say?
You heard what I said. There's nothing fashionable about dice boxes. It's a scam.
Dice boxes are beautiful.
Let's not start a meme war. Let's continue.
This is a meme war.
Anyway, so what do we get? What do I get?
Well, you get with a 2 and an 8. I'll say you both discern that there's something more going on here, and it's clear you don't trust him anyway. So I think you're just slightly racist. I think you're just really racist.
Emund is just like, They probably want to virus bomb our ship
Bloody
or
cardies.
something. Or sneak
No,
into
I'm
and
not
replace our
racist. I
crew.
just don't enter situations like an idiot.
They want to take our gerbs.
So
Hey,
what-
later now.
What I'm going to see about doing is preparing transporters to get their wounded to medical bay in order of most severe to least severe.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we don't know entirely what we're dealing with here, especially because there's this strange ring world down below us. So I'm going to make sure that there's quarantine in effect in the med bay as they're beamed in. And I'll
And
see about the EMH treating them first, like making sure there are no human personnel exposed straight
There
away.
we go.
This is where I would immediately question, and this is not question, but I would immediately tell the captain, no, captain, I need to be there. I have an expertise in infectious diseases. If there is anything that would come up, I would know. I can take safety precautions to do it.
Very well then. Xoll,
And-
make sure to report to the med bay and soon, because they are in dire need of medical treatment.
And
Thank you.
The
before,
only other thing I will stress is that I would like to speak to their representative at the soonest possible opportunity to find out more about the situation.
Yeah,
I'll
you can
try to
arrange for him.
redirect any questions.
You can arrange for him to be beamed up, so you
Mhm.
know you can discuss things further.
can you
course.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, then can I actually say what I'm trying to say?
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna say that I would have said this, kind of like after the comms are closed, I would have like told the captain about that.
Uh-huh.
I feel he is suspicious.
Well, hopefully there's no hidden agenda, but if there is, we just have to make sure we're prepared for it.
Of course,
I-
I just didn't want you to enter this blind.
Do you think
Well-
a security team will be necessary along with me?
We'll have them present nearby, but I don't feel it would do very well for our diplomatic relations if
No,
we
no, of
have
course,
armed security looming over their wounded.
No, of course, I'm not saying that.
I'm going to look at Phelps and the captain. I'm going to tap into my badge and say, medical team, I'm going to require, let's say, 3 hazmat suits. Bring them over to the where are we beaming them up again?
Medical bay.
The medical, yeah. Prep them up in the medical bay. I'm on my way.
Really, you could just you probably beam them up and establish a force field.
Or in
with
fact, no. Everyone wear hazmat suits. The medical bay has now been put on quarantine mode. Clean out every single patient that's currently in the beds, if possible, or keep them secure.
they
Otherwise,
respond back and say we could just establish a force field and perform some scans for lowering it.
number 1, are you questioning me? And number 2, that's fine. Go on and do that. I'm out. Like, medical officer out. Like, what was this? A chief medical officer? The CMO, yeah, that's
Yes.
CMO out.
Man, you need to. I think you're drunk this shift. So I don't give a fuck anymore.
He's literally just like, are you questioning me?
There's
I mean,
5
yes, that is a good idea, but
There's a few days filming left for this series. Fuck it, I'm out. I'm just not giving a fuck about performance.
what do you mean? No, come on. This is fine performance. It's just he's taking this seriously.
He's not taking it seriously.
He is.
Okay, so I got a little bit lost there.
All have space.
We still have yet to beam them up, right?
Yeah, you can arrange for them to get beamed up and checked over.
So I don't want to delay on getting them to the med bay. Though after they are secure in med bay, and I'm certain there's no kind of backstabbing about to happen, I'm going to head to my meeting room and then see about beaming aboard their representative and whatever security team he might want to bring with him.
Do you want me
Nothing
to be
too
there?
much, just he might want some guards.
Yes, there's a couple of guys.
And then
you said?
Yeah. Do you want me to be there?
yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
So I'll be there.
Okay. I guess now would be an excellent sort of scene transition to the next scene, which would be you're all set up in the meeting room, and as you finally need to build a lot, and he pulls up a chair with his dudes. You okay there, Alice?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, so
I think you'd be in the medical bay.
Beaming, are they? Yeah, I would be up on the medical
Yeah,
bay.
they
in
found
hazmat suit.
They found there's no like infection or anything. They're just like wounded from the crash and shit.
Okay, then after like checking up that there's no infection, may I roll though just to double check?
Certainly.
Okay. I'm not gonna spend any thingies, but it will be, I believe, insight and medical. Yeah, medicine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
And anything to do with virology.
Yeah, infectious diseases. Apparently, yes. So 1 success. But it's double, so it's 2.
Yeah. You look them over and you discern they're fine.
Okay, yeah. Then,
There's no
everyone
like
to start taking off hazmat suits, and I apologize to the Cardassians that
it will be less.
There's no super space parasite organism that's overtaking everyone.
Yeah.
I should note that as a lore thing, it would be less hazmat suits and more they would have been under a containment field, and then you would lift the containment field when you're certain.
Oh, okay. I thought I thought hazmat suits was still a thing, but just not really used.
They do. It's just
EV suits which are used in like space and stuff, but when it comes to like containing hazardous.
Oh, okay. I was improvising.
Yeah, you would just be like, oh, just direct the level 10 force field here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, boop, done.
Yeah, basically.
Because instead of doors for prison cells, Starfleet goes, let's have them run on like the power grid.
That's for plot convenience. Also, I believe there is.
That's a great idea. Let's do it on a prison.
All the cells.
Let's only have one big generator.
Yes.
Starfleet's actual prisons have quite a clever system. Funny you mention that, because they have not only are the doors are actually proper metal doors, but they instead have like walkways which are generated, which are like sort of holographic constructs using force fields. And as a result, if the power goes down, it just means there's absolutely no way anyone can escape because the walkways are gone, so you just plummet.
Including the guards who have stood on the walkways. Free!
Yeah,
that's standing on the walkway and the power goes down. Obviously, you're in trouble, but
that's probably the case.
Down, then you're in trouble anyway.
This is Starfleet we're talking about. They're not too smart. Well, as much as they claim to be.
It's all about plot convenience. Anyway,
And coffee.
Coffee.
Guys, give me a second. I'm gonna go get a fork, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Like, it's not like he'll be in the scene. So they pull up the chair and he takes the seat and goes, says, "Thank you for the rescue, Captain."
No trouble. I mean, as far as I can tell, like, there's no reason why anyone should have not came to rescue you here. This seems like a pretty horrible situation you're in, and we're happy to help.
He nods and he says, "And yet, on such a wonder as this."
Also, if this was up to me, the holographic claws would be below in every single cell, over like a meat grinder, or like spikes.
Yeah, but the thing is, with Starfleet and like their power shit is, it's like, oh, you're running off the ship's power grid. Oh, that's gonna fail, like instantly.
And then everything fails, and then everything goes bad.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the scene. He said how he's appreciating it, and let's see. Yes, I remember where I was now. It says it is often unprecedented that we find such wonders in the galaxy.
Believe me, even after this rescue is sorted out, I'll still want to remain here for a while and collect as much data as possible about this, see who created it.
Hmm. And that is something perhaps we can assist with. We've been studying this construct, and we have found that it has been abandoned for quite some time.
I see. Were there been any computers or data records you found at all that might give away clues as to the original creators?
We've been working on trying to get into some of the ground facilities that are located on this, on the ring world. However, they've been unsuccessful so far.
Mm.
In
Okay,
fact, we are pressed for time, unfortunately, with this.
I see. What was your original mission before you came here, or were you sent explicitly to investigate?
I'm afraid that is confidential, Captain.
I see. Very well. In the interests of cooperation between our two people, and hopefully a lasting peace for the future, I propose a joint operation to try and unlock the secrets of this ring world.
Hmm. And how will I know that this isn't some Federation ploy in order to seize valuable assets from this Cardassian discovered?
Roll some
engineering.
dice. Roll some dice against your insight.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll diplomacy instead. Well, it's not diplomacy, it's negotiating, but I'm going to attempt to simply reason with him that we came here to respond to a distress signal, which is, this is a selfless act. This is us enacting our duty. We're not here to loot or pilfer or try and claim on secrets or something. We're quite happy to leave just as empty-handed as we came, so long as we're certain that everyone is getting out of this alive and well.
Okay, could you make a roll for that?
I want to be reading him as he's talking.
I will roll.
If that's okay.
I'm treating the wounded, so don't worry about me.
Yes, we know. You could, when you're looking at him, you can tell he's very cool and measured, and he's kind of trying to see what if there's any hidden agenda on your part, while also concealing his own intentions.
Well, I'm trying to be as much open book as possible here.
I
mean, call me a sucker, call me a fool, but I believe that the best way to approach these people is not hiding secrets, because secrets are the one thing that they're very used to, and I don't think we can beat them at their own game.
Well, I'm not trying to hide any secrets. I'm trying to see if they're...
I wasn't trying to single you out at all. I was just saying that this is why I'm approaching this situation as openly as possible.
Okay.
Yep.
Am I allowed to implement dead man switches, so in case, like in all the wounded, so in case they betray us?
That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Anyway, I'm going to roll command presence.
Okay.
My question has not been answered.
The answer would be
highly
no.
unethical.
Oh yeah.
It would be very much against Starfleet, from what I know.
It would be very Cardassian, though.
Yes,
Okay, so that's 2 successes because I have a focus in this.
Okay. He, I'll give you a since you were truthful, I'll give you a point of momentum.
Okay.
Good point. And he'll say, well, make a good point. However, we have noticed some issues with this. I will divulge some information that you may find relevant to this. As you've been so forthright and open. This star that this ring world is orbiting around hasn't got much time left to live.
It would make sense that it's reasonably close to some kind of supernova state.
Unnaturally so. We've been trying to penetrate deeper into these facilities to gather data on why this is occurring. However, if this star was to explode, then it would almost certainly destroy this construct. And this construct is a feat of engineering, yet almost unseen in the galaxy.
Yes, I can see why that might be a problem. I think our best bet would be to try to get into one of these data facilities. We don't want to risk stranding any of our people on the ground in the event that the star does go supernova. So we'll have to make sure that we keep a bead on them at all times, and then we evacuate mission-critical resources of your people and mine as quickly as possible. However, I think if we can get into one of these data facilities and see if there's some way we might be able to buy ourselves more time, maybe slow the aging of the star if it's been somehow sped up, it might give us more time. After all, for all we know, this prematurely aged star could be some kind of self-destruct mechanism built into the ring world that its original creators rigged it to be destroyed by a supernova in the event that they lost it.
Are you
It
suggesting
is entirely
temporal
possible.
hijinks, Captain?
It's possible. I mean, we know that stars have been tampered with by particularly powerful and ancient civilizations in the past. This wouldn't be anything new, but at the same time, it is almost unheard of.
I'm going to scan the Cardassians for any.
I thought you were tending to the wounded.
Yeah, yes, but it's on the same. It's in the same room, right?
No.
This is
Then
in the meeting room.
Then never mind. I
We're
am
not
just
having
being-
a meeting
Go
in
on.
that.
Never mind. So I can't even scan them for like chronoparticles or whatever the hell.
You could attempt to tap into the computer systems on the starship and then do it remotely. It might make the check more difficult, though.
No, don't worry. I'll basically. I'm not gonna meta. Be right back. I'm gonna put these stuff away, and then while you guys like settle the diplomacy.
Well, we'll call a break shortly.
Okay.
So,
So should I go or should I stay until the break?
just go.
Okay.
I don't have to deal with him talking. Oh. Go do it. What are you doing? So he says, we'll be able to investigate the facilities more on foot. With your permission to lead an expedition down there, Captain.
Understood. Okay, right. One thing I will do before we see about like beaming down ground teams or the like. Assuming, does this Cardassian have anything more sort of to say to us, or is he making it clear he wants to move on?
He wants to get his people tended to.
Okay.
And,
Well, I'm more than happy to let him. What I will do is I will go and check through my captain's console in my ready room, and I'm going to do as much research on stellar manipulation and like artificially altering stars, particularly on the idea of quantum phase inhibition, which in layman's terms means halting the nuclear fission within a star, or fusion within a star, sorry.
yes.
Okay. Is there anything you want me to do in the meantime?
When your fridge's content contains 80% of mayonnaise.
Anyway, is there anything you want me to do in the meantime, Harp?
What for you to do?
Yeah.
I reckon you should probably prep your security teams for an away mission, and make sure that they're all aware that they will be working alongside Cardassians who, for all we know, could possess weapons, could be members of any organization, even the Obsidian Order.
Okay.
We just don't know who they are.
Okay.
However, at the same time, we shouldn't treat them with unfair levels of suspicion and doubt.
Just be on
I
guard.
am going to do something
Okay.
that I'm not going to tell about it to the captain, nor Phelps, but I'm going to basically use my knowledge to create like a grenade, but it's filled with just sleeping gas. As to like knock out a small room of people, essentially.
So, once again, you are turning to the wonders of anesthesine to try and save
Oh
the
yeah,
day.
It worked. It worked once before, and it's not like
It
it's
did,
a lethal
admittedly.
weapon.
It did delay them.
And it's not like it's a lethal weapon, and like
Nope.
whatchamacallit, Starfleet will be on my ass for it.
No. In fact, funnily enough, anesthetizine grenades are actually something that's used quite a lot by Starfleet, specifically Mako.
Yeah, I'll
So-
pick up basically like a pair of them.
Yeah.
I'll write it down in the thing. Other than that, I won't tell that to the captain or Phelps because they might read Phelps and captain
Mhm.
about it. So it's like I'm keeping like a double secret kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah,
Admittedly,
if go on.
admittedly, like part of why Kaval is more trusting of these Cardassians is because her race are quite new to Starfleet. They're not terribly familiar with all the tensions that have existed with the Cardassians.
Okay.
That, and she likes Cardassian food as well, so that's
She's a
basically
Cardassian sympathizer.
that's all she has to go on right now, is the fact that they do some absolutely cracking battered food. They do.
He just knows that they can't be trusted because he was taught by like Starfleet Academy
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Oh, well, you'd have been appraised of all of the stuff happening in and around like DS9 and all that business, so you'd know.
Well,
You
to be
know
fair,
that-
it's 2371, so I think DS9 is. Let's see, that's when Voyager sets up, so I think that's near towards the end of DS9.
Voyager leaves, like I think it's
Voyager's
early
been
on
gone
in
for a little while.
DS9, but Voyager lasts much longer than DS9 does. DS9 ends like halfway through Voyager's journey.
Yeah, like, I was saying, like, Voyager's disappearance happened, like, probably, I think a few months ago?
Alice,
Maybe?
I'm getting flashbacks.
Anyway,
Okay.
so, I think DS9's been, at least, the events of DS9 have been going on for a few years as of now. I
I'll
think,
tell you in
at least.
text.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll call a break for now.
Okay.
And we will be back momentarily.